grinning like an idiot. Indians ain't supposed to smile like that. Get stoic. No, like this.
Curious to see the Native American actors who have and are still making waves in the industry? From Academy Award winners to titled chiefs, here are the 15 best Native American actors in Hollywood history. Number 15. Will Samson Jr. Born September 27, 1933, William Samson Jr. was renowned for his talents as a painter, actor, and rodeo performer. He is mostly remembered for his portrayal of Chief Bromden because he brought his seemingly deaf and mute character to life in the 1975 classic One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Another recognizable role of his was the portrayal of Crazy Horse in the 1977 western The White Buffalo. For nearly 2 decades, Samson actively participated in rodeos. He specialized in bronco busting and made quite the name for himself. It was during this time on the rodeo circuit that producers Saul Zaentz and Michael Douglas came into contact with him. Both producers had been casting for their next project titled One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. They were looking out for a tall Native American actor for the role of Chief Bromden. You can already guess where this is headed, right? Samson stood a standing 6 feet 7 inches tall, so it was definitely meant to happen. First, Samson's name was suggested to them by rodeo announcer Mel Lambert. Then, despite his lack of acting experience, he was selected for the role after what seemed like an endless search. As you can imagine, Samson's notable performances extended beyond One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He went on to exceptionally portray roles like Taylor the Medicine Man in the horror film Poltergeist 2, as well as the recurring character Harlan Two-Leaf on the television series Vegas. You would also spot the actor in movies like Fishhawk and Orca. Needless to say, Samson had a prestigious acting career. We can't forget to mention that he participated in the American Indian Theater Company's production of Black Elk Speaks in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He worked on this prestigious project alongside notable actors like David Carradine, Wes Studi, and Randolph Mantooth. Additionally, he portrayed Crazy Horse alongside Charles Bronson in The White Buffalo. Now, not much is known about his personal life, but one thing seems to be certain. Samson was a proud member of the Muskogee Nation. Samson was deeply rooted in his cultural heritage. The actor lived in Okmulgee County, Oklahoma, and identified as a member of the Muskogee Nation. This is a tribe that had its origin traced to the southeastern woodlands. The Muskogee Nation holds federal recognition as a Native American tribe located in Oklahoma. Among its official languages are Muskogee, Yuchi, Natchez, Alabama, and Coasati. Notably, Muskogee is the most widely spoken of these languages.
I know more about him than you do.
You don't know anything.
I know about the fourth.
Number 14. Irene Bard. Best known as the voice of Pocahontas in Disney's animated films, Bard has gone on to have a prolific career that includes other impactful roles in films like Smoke Signals, The New World, and the TV series Into the West. The Native American actress was born on July 22, 1967, in Anchorage, Alaska. Alaska? Yes, you heard that right. Irene Bard is of Inupiaq and Cree descent, her mother being Inupiaq and her father a Cree French-Canadian. The Inupiaq are an Alaska Native group whose tradition lands extend from the Bering Sea northwestward to the northernmost part of the Canada-United States border. Now that is only one half of the equation. Remember, she is of Cree heritage as well. It goes without saying that the Cree are a major group. In Canada, over 350,000 people are Cree or have Cree ancestry. Interestingly, her diverse heritage deeply influences her identity and has played a significant role in her career. As you can see, she often portrayed characters that resonated with her cultural background. So let's take a look at some of the highlights. Most notable of all would be the voice of Pocahontas. Bard worked on Disney's animated film Pocahontas in 1995 and its sequel Pocahontas 2: Journey to a New World in 1998. Is there any doubt that her performance brought a nuanced and authentic portrayal of the character? It significantly impacted Native American representation in mainstream media. Fresh off that role in 1998, she starred in Smoke Signals. It's a groundbreaking film written by Sherman Alexie and directed by Chris Iyer. Want to know an interesting fact? This film is notable for being one of the first feature films to be written, directed, and co-produced by Native Americans. Even better, Bedard's role in the film helped highlight contemporary Native American life and issues. In recent years, Bedard has continued to work in film and television, and of course still taking on roles that emphasize her heritage and advocate for Native American representation. Her recent projects include roles in HBO's Westworld in 2018 and The Bygone in 2019. Beyond her acting career, Irene Bard has been an advocate for Native American rights and representation in media. She has used her platform to speak out about issues affecting Native communities. From cultural preservation to accurate portrayal of Native Americans in Hollywood, Bard's work has helped to pave the way for greater representation and understanding of Native American culture in mainstream media. Next is a versatile actor who is currently inspiring the next generation of Native American actors.
He came along and wanted to see the real West, so I said, okay. He pays well. We get all dressed up in war paint and go whooping around.
Number 13, Graham Greene. This 72-year-old Native American actor has had a remarkable life and career so far. We mean it has been nothing short of notable achievements in film and television. Born on June 22, 1952, in Ohsweken, Ontario, Canada, Greene is definitely one Native American actor who had to make this list. Throughout his career, Greene has portrayed a diverse range of characters across various genres. Whether playing historical figures, like in the film The Green Mile, or contemporary characters in television series such as Northern Exposure and The Red Green Show, he has been praised for his ability to bring depth and authenticity to his roles. Want to know the best part of all of this? Greene seemingly has a commitment to representing Indigenous peoples accurately and respectfully in film and television. He has been an outspoken advocate for Indigenous rights and issues. He continues to use his platform to raise awareness and promote a positive representation of Native American cultures in the media. In addition to his acting career, Greene is also involved in community activism and cultural preservation efforts from Indigenous communities. Following this breakthrough role in Kevin Costner's Dances with Wolves, Greene appeared in various films like Thunderheart, Maverick, and Die Hard with a Vengeance. If you know your movies, then you would recall that he has shared the screen with big talents like Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis. Even critics have praised Greene's performances. While there is always much to say about someone's craft, there's been no denying that Greene possesses the ability to bring his characters to life and complement co-stars. Take the dynamic between Greene and co-star Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves. It goes without saying that Greene continues to be a respected figure in both the entertainment industry and Indigenous communities, so it really is not surprising that he inspires a new generation of Native American actors and artists. That said, Graham Greene is an actor of Oneida descent. The Oneida are believed to have originated from the Six Nations Reserve in Ontario, Canada. In the early 1600s, the Oneidas inhabited and controlled approximately 6 million acres of territory in what is now central New York State. It may be safe to say that Greene is still very much as active as ever. We mean, he has not relented on the occasional acting endeavors, and there have also been no signs that he is slowing down soon. Next, a talented star whose life and death made a statement for Native American women in America.
I've made more friends here than I have in LA, just being on a shoot, so says a lot about Oklahoma. And the house, it was really...
Number 12, Misty Upham. Misty Upham was born on July 6, 1982, in Kalispell, Montana. This Native American actress is of Blackfeet descent. Very close to home, she grew up on the Blackfeet Reservation in Montana. Officially known as the Blackfeet Tribe of the Blackfeet Indian Reservation of Montana, this is a federally recognized tribe of the Siksik-8 people. All through her regrettably brief time in the industry, she portrayed characters that reflected her cultural background and highlighted Native American issues. So you could say that her heritage played a role in shaping her identity and career. An honorable mention would be her breakthrough role in the 2008 film Frozen River. In this film, she played Lila Littlewolf, a Mohawk woman involved in smuggling illegal immigrants across the US-Canada border. Her powerful performance didn't just earn critical acclaim, it also highlighted the challenges faced by Native American communities. The film itself was nominated for 2 Academy Awards. For her part, Upham received a nomination for an Independent Spirit Award for Best Supporting Female. We can't forget the 2013 star-studded adaptation of Tracy Letts' play August Osage County. Upham played Jana Monavada, a Cheyenne housekeeper who becomes a stabilizing force amid the family turmoil. Another major project under her belt is the 2012 film Django Unchained. You might remember her stand-up performance in the minor role of Minnie. Now, you could argue that her role was brief, but it was no doubt part of a high-profile project that brought further attention to her acting abilities. By 2013, she played a supporting role in Jimmy P., Psychotherapy of a Plains Indian, directed by Arnold Deshplain, and explored the complexities of Native American identity and mental health. This film was based on the true story of a Blackfoot World War II veteran, so you can understand that it needed the perfect cast. Misty Upham was not known only for her acting talent but also her advocacy work. She was outspoken about the challenges faced by Native American communities, including issues of representation, violence against Native women, and cultural preservation. We believe she would have gone on to do more great things, but sadly her life was tragically cut short. She was only 32 when she died in October 2014. Her death brought attention to the systemic issues faced by Native American communities, with special emphasis on the response of law enforcement and the media to missing and murdered Indigenous women.
I know you people. I know what kind of slanted-eyed savage you are, boy.
Number 11. Adam Beach. It goes without saying that Adam Beach is a prominent figure in Hollywood. He is widely recognized as one of the most esteemed Native American actors right now. You might recognize him from his notable portrayals of Victor Joseph in Smoke Signals, Ira Hayes in Clint Eastwood's Flags of Our Fathers, Dr. Charles Eastman in Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, or as Detective Chester Lake alongside Ice-T in Law & Order Special Victims Unit. Adam Beach was born on November 11, 1972, in Ashern, Manitoba. He was raised on the Dog Creek First Nations Reserve with his two brothers. His parents were Sally and Dennis Beach. Notably, Beach is of Saulteaux Anishinaabe descent. Now this is a branch of the Ojibwe nations within Canada. The Saulteaux derived their name from the French term meaning people of the rapids. They were traditionally hunters and fishers who had maintained extensive trading relations with French, British, and later American settlers. Today, most Saulteaux reside in the Interlake District, Swan River, Duck Bay, Camperville, southern Manitoba, and Saskatchewan. So how does a boy from Sault Ste. Marie make it into Hollywood? For starters, he did not have it easy as a child. Tragedy first struck when his mother was killed by a drunk driver. This was then followed by the drowning of his alcoholic father weeks later. Beach and his two brothers were taken in by their grandmother and later by their uncle and aunt in Winnipeg. It was there that Adam found solace in drama classes and started acting in local theater productions. Since then, he has made a name for himself as a Native American actor. His portrayal of Ira Hayes in the Academy Award-nominated film Flags of Our Fathers was so outstanding that it earned him 2 nominations for Best Supporting Actor, and that was not the only time he stood out in a cast. He has also received 3 nominations for his performance in Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee in 2007. He also received a nod from the Golden Globe. He is a recognizable face in Hollywood. So far, his career boasts over 60 feature films and nearly 50 television titles and series episodes. So there is no doubt that Beach has left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. To crown it all up, word in the street is that he hopes to one day become an appointed leader of his Lake Manitoba First Nation. Next, the first Native American to win the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Motion Picture.
What was that?
Shomikasi. That's how you are.
I don't know what you said, but it must have been Indian for handsome devil.
Number 10. Lily Gladstone. Lily Gladstone is a contemporary Native American actress of Blackfeet and Nez Perce descent. She was born on August 2, 1986 in Kalispell, Montana, and raised on the Blackfeet Indian Reservation in Montana. Gladstone studied acting at the University of Montana, where she earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Acting. As you can imagine, her education provided her with a solid foundation in theater and performance. This, of course, would later translate into her film and television career. Her breakout role came with Kelly Reichardt's 2016 film Certain Women. In this film, she portrayed Jamie, a ranch hand who forms a poignant connection with a lawyer. Her performance was widely acclaimed for its subtlety and emotional depth. We mean receiving several nominations for this role is all the proof you need. In addition to her film work, Gladstone has appeared in television series such as Billions, where she has played a recurring role. In 2019, she reunited with director Kelly Reichardt for the 2019 film First Cow. Although her role was smaller, it still established her as a talented actress in the independent film scene. Most recently, Gladstone was cast in Martin Scorsese's highly anticipated film Killers of the Flower Moon. The 2023 film is based on the true story of the Osage murders of the 1920s. In this high-profile project, she starred alongside Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro. Needless to say, this brought even more attention to her career. This role earned her a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Motion Picture, the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance, and the New York Film Critics Award for Best Actress, and a couple more. Isn't that something? Keeping up with the good work, Lily Gladstone is also an advocate for Native American representation in the arts. Her heritage has played a significant role in her identity as well as influenced the types of roles she chooses. Her choice of roles often reflects her dedication to portraying Native American experiences and challenging stereotypes. She has spoken about the importance of authentic representation and the need for more Native American voices in Hollywood. as she continues to pave the way for future generations of Indigenous actors by ensuring that their stories are told with the depth and respect they deserve. We believe Lily Gladstone will be on to even bigger things in the years to come. Coming up next is an actor from the silent film era who juggled being a chief on and off the screen. Number 9. Elijah Tahn. Also known as Dark Cloud, Elijah Tahn was a prominent and revered First Nation silent film actor. Born on September 20, 1855, Tahn initially gained recognition as a favored model for artist Frederick Remington. This was a prominent Western illustrator of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. By 1910, Tahn ventured into the film industry. Adopting the name Dark Cloud, he would join American Mutoscope and Biograph in New York City. He made his screen debut during the era of Eastern Westerns and also collaborated with renowned director D.W. Griffith and cinematographer Billy Bitzer. Other notable film roles included appearances in What Am I Bid?, The Woman Untamed, The Birth of a Nation, and The Dishonored Medal. In contrast to later westerns portraying Native Americans as dramatic and prone to conflicts, in the early films Tahn was part of, he portrayed Native Americans as passive. You could say the early films also depicted them with dignity, as they placed them in a serene, almost motionless profile. These calm and expansive landscapes kind of reflected the lives of Native Americans. All through the 1910s, Dark Cloud appeared in numerous westerns and other films. He relocated to Griffith's company in the West Coast in 1912. Sadly, he had a brief film career of only 8 years, as his life was tragically cut short by the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918. But before his passing, he managed to feature in at least 34 silent movies, and in that time, he gained recognition as Chief Dark Cloud or William Dark Cloud. One thing to note is that Dark Cloud was of Abenaki descent. These are a group native to Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and southern Canada. The Abenaki practiced a farming lifestyle, with men primarily undertaking hunting activities while women managed the fields and cultivated crops. Before his passing, Tahn served as a chief among the Abenaki. Interestingly, Tahn was often dressed as Hollywood's interpretation of a Plains Indian chief for his theatrical roles.
There was a man named Mahatma Gandhi.
Number 8. Floyd Red Crow Westerman. Floyd Westerman is yet another notable Native American musician, activist, and author. Initially known for his country music, he later transitioned to acting. As an actor, he often portrayed Native American elders in American media under the name Floyd Red Crow Westerman. Westerman was born on August 17, 1936, on the Lake Traverse Indian Reservation. This area belongs to the federally recognized Sisseton Wahpeton Oyate tribe. After earning a BA in secondary education from Northern State University, he went on to serve in the U.S. Marine Corps. From this point, Westerman began his journey to fame by pursuing a career in music. Yes, before this renowned actor ventured into film and television, he first gained recognition as a country western musician. Through his songwriting, he delved into and scrutinized the European influences on Native American societies. Alongside his solo work, Westerman collaborated with notable artists like Jackson Browne, Willie Nelson, Bonnie Raitt, and others. In the 1990s, he joined Sting on a tour aimed at fundraising for rainforest preservation. He had a good run as an artist, but would in time transition from music to acting. Westerman made his cinematic debut in the 1989 film Renegades. His filmography then expanded to include roles such as Chief Ten Bears in Dances with Wolves and the Shaman in Oliver Stone's The Doors. On television, he took on various roles, including Uncle Ray in Walker, Texas Ranger, and George in Dharma and Greg. Now let's back up a bit. Remember his cinematic debut? In the Renegade film, he portrayed Red Crow, the Lakota Sioux patriarch. This is pretty interesting because Westerman was of Dakota Sioux descent. The Sioux Indians were a nomadic and family-oriented people. As nomads, they roamed around the Great Plains with their dogs hauling their belongings. No doubt proud of his heritage, Westerman became a renowned advocate that actively spoke and marched for Native American rights. Next, the very first Native American actress to appear in a silent film. Number 7. Redwing. This list would certainly not be complete without one half of the iconic Native American duo. She was married to James Youngdeer, and together they have since been dubbed the first Native American Hollywood power couple. The silent film star was born Lillian Margaret St. Cyr sometime in February 1884 in Nebraska. This is a strong pointer to her Ho-Chuk Winnebago Nation heritage. She was born to a Ho-Chuk mother named Julia Decora and a French-Canadian father, Mitchell St. Cyr. She grew up on the Winnebago Reservation in Nebraska, and her early life there exposed her to the Ho-Chuk culture and traditions that influenced her later work in film. Remember, we said she was one of the first Native American actresses to achieve prominence in Hollywood? This was certainly no easy feat to achieve, so let's see how she did it. She rose to prominence during the silent film era, and when you follow her journey, it is evident that her heritage played a crucial role in defining her identity and career. By making herself available to portray Native American characters, she contributed to the representation of indigenous people in early cinema. She adopted the stage name Redwing and began her career in theater. Her performances in these venues helped her gain the attention of filmmakers during the early 20th century. Redwing eventually made her film debut in the 1914 film The Squaw Man, directed by Cecil B. DeMille. Redwing played Tantu Cardinal, a Native American woman. She did not stop there. She went on to appear in several other films, and yes, they were Native American characters. Some notable films include The Last of the Line in 1914, The Oath in 1906. She married James Youngdeer, a Native American actor, director, and producer. Together, they worked on several film projects and were involved in advocating for Native American representation in the arts. That said, her career in Hollywood was not only about acting. She was also an advocate for better representation of Native Americans in film. During an era when Native American roles were often played by non-Native American actors in a stereotypical manner, Redwing brought a level of authenticity and dignity to her characters. Thankfully, her contributions to the early film industry have been increasingly recognized in recent years. Film historians are finally acknowledging her role in paving the way for future generations of Native American actors and actresses.
Makes my heart sad. A world without human beings has no center to it.
Number 6. Chief Dan George. Chief Dan George made history as the first Native American actor to be nominated for an Academy Award. But of course, this is not the most interesting thing about him or his ancestry. He gained international fame for his portrayal of Old Lodgeskins in Little Big Man. He was 71 years old at the time, and he earned both an Academy Award nomination and a Golden Globe nomination for his outstanding performance in the film. Interestingly, he continued his career well into his later years. George appeared in various television shows such as Bonanza, Kung Fu, and The Incredible Hulk. In recognition of his contributions to cinema, the Canadian Postal System honored Chief Dan George with a postage stamp in 2008. This was part of the Canadians in Hollywood stamp series. One thing about Chief Dan, he was always praised for his natural dignity and warmth. Both audiences and critics alike will attest that he always left a lasting impression in his films. Born Geswanuth Salhoot, Chief Dan George was a respected leader of the Tsleil-Waututh Nation. Now, this is a Coast Salish band whose Indian reserve lies on Burwood Inlet in the southeastern part of the District of North Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Previously identified as the Burwood Indian Band, the Tsleil-Waututh Nation, or TWN, comprises the Coast Salish people. The Coast Salish speak a certain downriver dialect of the Halkol-Melem language. Interestingly, the Coast Salish communities express their spiritual powers through dances, masks, and ceremonies, all of which are believed to reflect their given spirit powers, such as leadership, bravery, healing, and artistry. So do you think Chief Dan George stayed true to his roots? Do you think he partook in spirit dancing ceremonies? Sure would be nice to know. Chief Dan George continued to pursue acting until he passed away in 1981 at the age of 82. He reportedly died on the same Indian reserve in North Vancouver where he was born. Up next is an actor who has furthered the lives of his people and culture in more ways than one. Number 5. Luther Standing Bear. Born in December 1968, Luther grew up to become a distinguished author, educator, philosopher, and of course actor. His journey began in 1912 when he relocated to California. There he was enlisted as a consultant by film director Thomas H. Ince. He leveraged his experience as a performer with Buffalo Bill's Wild West and made his cinematic debut in the 1916 film Ramona. And for someone who stumbled into acting, he did it for quite some time. Notably, he remained active in the motion picture industry until the 1930s. During that time, he collaborated with renowned figures like Tom Mix, Douglas Fairbanks, and William S. Hart. Standing Bear contributed to early Hollywood westerns by portraying both indigenous and non-indigenous characters. His extensive filmography includes titles like White Oak in 1921, Cyclone of the Saddle in 1935, and Union Pacific in 1939. However, acting is not the only thing Standing Bear is remembered for. Raised in the rich oral traditions of Lakota culture and educated in white society, Luther Standing Bear uniquely bridged both worlds. He authored historical accounts in English and made sure to detail his people's experiences. He referenced his early life on reservations and the years at the Carlisle Indian Industrial School in his works. These writings have since provided a Native American perspective during the Progressive era in American history. Standing Bear's insightful commentaries on Native American cultures still serves as a means to enlighten the American public. So if you ever wondered who shaped the 20th century perception of Native American culture as holistic and reverent toward nature, you know who to thank for that. We mean, isn't it outstanding that his insightful writings still have a place on college-level reading lists? Various disciplines like anthropology, literature, history, and philosophy have since placed great value on his works as they constitute a valuable legacy and repository of Native American wisdom. Notably, he is a prominent Sikangu and Oglala Lakota figure. In his lifetime, Luther was dedicated to preserving his Lakota culture and sovereignty. It is said that he never missed an opportunity to advocate for progressive rights in government policies towards Native Americans. If you've made it this far, do hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates from us. Now let's take a peek into the life of an actor who has been credited with altering the landscape of one-reel westerns. Number 4. James Youngdeer. Not only did he emerge as an early Native American figure in film, James Youngdeer also took on roles as an actor, director, writer, and producer. Today, Youngdeer is regarded as one of the pioneering Native American filmmakers in Hollywood. His influence is said to have been so great that he shaped the landscape of one-reel westerns during the silent film era. All of his works notably depicted Native American characters in a positive manner. Born in the Old Southwest District of Washington, D.C., Youngdeer was given the birth name James Johnson. In 1909, Youngdeer embarked on his acting career in New York. He appeared in numerous one-reel westerns for various film companies such as Callum, Lubin, Vitagraph, and Biograph. At Pathé's West Coast studio, he contributed to around 150 silent films, including Who Laughs Last, The Unwilling Bride, and Cowboy Justice. While many of his early works have been lost to history, the Library of Congress recognized White Fawn's Devotion as one of Youngdeer's surviving films. The film has also been added to the National Film Registry since 2008. Youngdeer's films have been commended for their portrayal of early Western themes devoid of stereotypes like hostile Indian warriors or wagon train attacks. But something else to note is that he came from a lineage marked by ambiguity. While census records label his parents as mulatto, there was still further evidence to suggest that Youngdeer was in fact of Native American ancestry. Next is an actress with a pretty interesting origin story for her career in Hollywood.
We ain't doing this no more! No more! We're done with it!
Number 3. Tantu Cardinal. The 73-year-old actress was born Rosemarie Tantu Cardinal on July 20th, 1950. She is a Canadian actress with Cree and Métis heritage. Throughout her career, Cardinal has delivered compelling performances in numerous films and television series. Her filmography includes Spirit Bay, Loyalties, Dances with Wolves, Black Robe, Legends of the Fall, Smoke Signals, Hold the Dark, and North of 60. Notably, she starred in the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation miniseries By Way of the Stars, alongside Gordon Tutsutsis as the Cree Chief and Eric Schweig as Black Thunder. Her induction into the Order of Canada in 2009 recognized her significant contributions to Aboriginal performing arts in Canada, both on-screen and on stage. They also recognized her pivotal role as a founding member of the Saskatchewan Native Theatre Company. Interestingly, Cardinal has credited her early experiences, particularly walking behind her grandmother, as the first lesson that helped her develop her acting skills. Raised in Onzac, Alberta, Cardinal is the youngest of 3 children born to Julia Cardinal of Cree and Métis descent and a white father. Growing up without electricity, she found solace in the wilderness. This fostered her imagination through play. Her grandmother, who affectionately called her Tantu, imparted Cree language and cultural traditions to Cardinal. She also made sure to impart additional invaluable life lessons about navigating the challenges of being Métis in Canada. The Cree are an indigenous people of North America, primarily residing in Canada. They constitute one of the largest First Nations group in the country. In Canada, over 350,000 individuals identify as Cree or possess Cree ancestry. The majority of Cree people reside north and west of Lake Superior, with significant populations in Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and the Northwest Territories. Their reserve lands collectively stand as the country's largest among First Nations. Notably, the Lac La Ronge Band in northern Saskatchewan is the largest Cree band and the second largest First Nations band in Canada. Academics have since recognized the Cree's embrace of mixed marriages as the reason for bands of diverse heritage. Multilingualism and multiculturalism are still commonplace among the Cree. She is also of Métis origin as well. This means of mixed ancestry in French, and it is used to refer to individuals of diverse backgrounds, such as Cree combined with French, English, or Scottish heritage. Historical accounts from Aboriginal affairs and Northern Development Canada depict the Metis as descendants of French fur traders and Cree women, or as offsprings of English or Scottish traders and Northern Dean women.
You are a fool, but at least you are brave. Get off Apache land. But next time, I will kill you.
Number 2, Wes Studi. Born December 17, 1947, Wesley Study is a celebrated Native American actor and film producer from the Cherokee Nation. The 76-year-old actor has received widespread acclaim and numerous awards for his portrayals of Native American characters in cinema. Perhaps the most notable of all came in 2019. Study made history by becoming the first Indigenous person from North America to receive an Academy Honorary Award. Born into a Cherokee family in No Fire Hollow, Oklahoma, Study grew up immersed in his Cherokee heritage. Now, the Cherokee are indigenous people of Iroquois descent. They were among the largest politically unified tribes during the European colonization of the Americas. Wes Studi attended Chilolo Indian Agricultural School and graduated in 1964 with a vocational major in dry cleaning. At 17, Studi joined the Oklahoma National Guard and received training at Fort Polk, Louisiana. He later volunteered for active duty and served in Vietnam for a year. Following his military service, Studi immersed himself in Native American activism. He then attended Tulsa Community College after returning from Vietnam. There he ventured into acting. Studi has since graced the screens of Academy Award-winning films like Dances with Wolves in the year 1990 and Last of the Mohicans in 1992. You will also find him in Academy Award-nominated works like 1993's Geronimo, An American Legend, and The New World, which were later released in 2005. One thing a good actor must possess: versatility. Studi's versatility is evident in his films. He portrayed a very distinct and wide range of characters, from Sagat in Street Fighter to appearances in Hostiles, Heat, Mystery Men, Avatar, A Million Ways to Die in the West, and the TV series Penny Dreadful. When you talk about versatility in acting, Studi is your guy. In December 2020, he was given the 19th spot among the 25 greatest actors of the 21st century so far. As we mentioned, Studi was immersed in his heritage all through his early years. He spoke the language at home until he began elementary school. In 2019, Wes Studi became the first Native American actor to receive an Oscar specifically for acting. When accepting his award, he described the achievement as a humbling honor.
Why'd you say yes?
If you like.
Number 1, Q'orianka Kilcher. Interesting name, right? Her name, Q'orianka, means golden eagle in Quechua. If this does not reflect a deep connection to her indigenous heritage, then we don't know what will. Q'orianka Kilcher was born on February 11, 1990, in Schwigmott, Baden-Württemberg, Germany, to a Quechua Hachipari father from Peru and an Alaskan mother of Swiss-German descent. Kilcher grew up in Hawaii. There she was exposed to various cultures and artistic expressions, which influenced her career path. Kilcher's breakthrough role came at the age of 14. You can imagine that this is the dream of every young Native American girl who hopes to break into Hollywood. While many are not so lucky, Kilcher was cast as Pocahontas in Terrence Malick's 2005 historical drama, The New World. Her portrayal of the young Native American woman received critical acclaim for its depth and authenticity. This role earned her several awards, including the National Board of Review's Best Breakthrough Performance and the Alma Award for Outstanding Actress in a Motion Picture. By 2009, she landed another major role. Kilcher starred as Princess Ka'iulani in the biographical film Princess Ka'iulani. She perfectly carried the story of the Hawaiian princess who fought to maintain Hawaiian independence during the late 19th century. Her performance didn't just bring the historical figure to life, she also shed light on a lesser-known part of Hawaiian history. By 2016, she appeared in a pretty notable film titled Te Ada. In this film, she portrayed the Chickasaw storyteller and performer Te Ada Fisher. This is another interesting Native American who did so much for the culture. Other roles in films like Hostiles, Dora and the Lost City, as well as Color Out of Space, further exemplified her commitment to portraying indigenous characters with depth and respect. Beyond her acting career, Kilcher is a passionate advocate for indigenous rights and environmental issues. She has worked with organizations such as Amnesty International and the American Indian Enterprise and Business Council. Her main focus so far seems to be on issues such as human rights, environmental justice, and the preservation of indigenous cultures. Kilcher has also been involved in campaigns against oil drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge and has participated in various environmental protests. Through her production company, IQ Films, Kilcher is producing several cause-driven documentaries and youth-oriented programming projects. Her activism so far has earned her recognition, including the Young Hollywood Green Award for environmental activism. She particularly won the Bauer Youth Award for persuading Occidental Petroleum from the Peruvian Amazon Valley. Sometime in June 2010, Kilcher and her mother were arrested after she chained herself to the gates in front of the White House in Washington, D.C. Her mother had poured black paint on her to symbolize oil, and they were no doubt making a statement. Talk about dedication. As you see, her contributions to Indigenous representation and all peoples at large know no bounds. She remains committed to bringing authentic Indigenous stories to the forefront of mainstream media and challenging stereotypes. Well, that's it, our top 15 Native American actors. Do you know any other prominent actors who could have made our list? Do share your thoughts in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. You also can't miss the next video on your screen.